Okay, so moving forward, so you have a query, you have the ability to look at it and to listen to it, but then the next thing you'll learn is that you get way too much information. Google is known for providing great results, but some of them are drowned in a huge ocean of non-relevant results, and you'll find the same. I think before going into or developing a methodology, which for each and every one of you will have to develop on your own, on how to focus the search queries and subtract the results that are not relevant, I think that the first step that we always suggest is to find the conversation that's relevant to you. So first of all, if you start the search within the relevant venue, you'll have better chances of hitting more relevant search results. So going back to LinkedIn, LinkedIn today allows you to search and filter results based on industry, based on topic, based on companies that you want to hear from, based on even specific people that you want to hear from. That filtering automatically puts a focus on conversations or topics that are relevant to you. It might not be the case for every industry and for every discussion. Another venue to take a look at is Twitter. Twitter, the way we see it, is not a great platform for discussions, but it's one of the strongest platforms for distributing content. Many of the blogs and many of the hubs of information out there automatically send a tweet when a new content is published, or when a comment was posted. So Twitter is great in finding, in pointing out to those hubs, to those discussion boards, to those blogs where an interesting discussion is taking place right now. And Twitter also has, in its short life, a history of very powerful Twitter clients that were built and developed, and we see now the two we posted here are Hootsuite and Seismic, which we like a lot for many different reasons. But they allow you to mine the Twitter stream, find relevant content to you, even participate. You can also measure the success of content you distributed by following on links that how many people clicked on links that you posted and so on. But the point is that it's an easy way to find relevant topics, relevant tweets that point to where the discussion takes place right now.
And they are free.
And it's free. Everything we talked about, other than our platform, that is free. Yes. Now, in our platform, we make our life is made much easier because we have a flowing stream that we choose all about the topics that are relevant to us, to the campaign we're looking at, and we choose the channels that we want to look at this time, and let the data come in, and it's in real time. It's one screen that encompasses all of the conversations relevant to our campaign. And we have another important view, which is a social map of the conversations that take place at this point, and how many attendees are engaging with them. It's not the people who read the post; it's the people who interacted with that post that we're looking at, and that allows us to choose how to focus our energy. And, should we jump into a conversation that has just a post and one person engaging? That's not very engaging. Or should we go and take a look where the majority of the industry is concentrated? Another thing is to know what time of day or one time of the day, the month, the week we should distribute our content. For the sake of the time, I'll just jump into the last issue here, which is social media and the conversation in social media is not a theoretical concept. It's the interaction between people. Every effort we take needs to bear in mind that we're talking about people. It's the people that drive the conversation, not vice versa. It's the people who drive the action. It's the people that eventually will become your customers, and that we want to encourage the conversation with them. One of the efforts that we focusing on is to figure out how to rank those people in terms of influence. Here we're seeing the view from LinkedIn discussion board on how LinkedIn does that, but that's relevant to those to the discussion, to the specific discussions. But you need to always try and think how to find how much influence the people you're talking to have. At this point, I think that just for the sake of time, we'll leave you time for questions.
Right, and influencers are, we can do a webinar just on working through influencers.
About 3 hours.
Right, but Mary, I think we are running pretty close to the end of our time.
Yeah.
We can take on another slide or two if you like, or answer some questions.
Well, let me ask one question right now, and then also just again encourage others, if you have a question on your mind, please type it in. If you go back to the influencer slide, the one that you showed on LinkedIn, yes, that one. Is that an automated tool inside of the LinkedIn system?
Yes, this appears when you go into LinkedIn groups or into a discussion, and even I think in the answers, where you see the LinkedIn answers, you see the most influential person in this specific group. But they base it it's based only on the counting of how many engagement a certain post or topic generated, meaning how many people interacted with that person when he posted something. So within a closed group, it's powerful, but it doesn't cross out, or it doesn't that barrier of the group.
So actually, from one of the things we do in our engagements is try to actually narrow this down further by trying to ascertain how many of the posts that influencer is posting are relevant to our customer, to our industry, and the topics we're looking for. Because a person may be talking about a lot of different issues and be getting a lot of different reactions. So that's the next cut. Working with influencers is a really important tool. Hanan loves to say that on social media, not all people were born equally. Some have more influence than others, and clearly identifying those with influence is very critical.
So at what point in time do you recommend, trying to find these conversations on your own versus using a more maybe automated, sophisticated tool? Is there a certain point where you say, gosh, it's worth the investment to make this change?
Absolutely. The first indicator is when you are sensing that your activities are actually generating value for your company, and you begin to believe that in doing more, you will get more value for your company. And if you have the internal skills to do it, when you look at your ecosystem, your competition, other industries, and you see that they are successful in social media, and you do not have the inner resource to do that, then you go to people like us, or purchase tools that are of enterprise grade, that can shine a lot more light into your searches and into your listening capabilities.
Yeah, it's all a matter of time invested. If you have hundreds of mentions of your brand or relevant topics that are discussed about your industry that you feel that you have to be able to give attention to, then it will require more human or manpower to
right.
look at it.
Right, and that is actually, a very critical issue because, as Hanan mentioned, there is a lot of noise in the conversation, and it takes a fair amount of skill to filter out the noise. If you can't filter out the noise, you can't have a very concise and focused picture, and you'll be chasing your tail all day long.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, it's not about tools. Technology comes and goes. It changes all the time. Today's tool is tomorrow's past history. It's about methodologies. It's about the ability to set the goals of your activity. What your goal is in your social media strategy or in your marketing strategy, and then how you measure success, how you set those key indicators of that success. When you know that, you'll probably you are probably in a better place in setting up a measurement around it or a way to measure it. But the thing is that the more indicators, the more to measure it, it requires more technology and more expertise.
And we hope that one of the things you take away from this webinar today is that the like button is not necessarily the success indicator of your social media strategy.
Number of fans, number of followers, all of that is it's nice, but it doesn't really indicate if you're successful. It indicates that you're successful in getting a follower.
Well, let's just talk about that for a moment, because that was one of the questions that came in. Is that is there anything that you can do to quantify that value of like?
Yeah, we actually wrote a we had a kind of a discussion going on in our blog about the value of likes, and we tried to keep it specifically to B2B, although some of the participants tried to pull it to B2C. The value of like, well, there are a few ways to look at it. There is some look at it as it's an indicator that people just noticed and engaged in the lowest possible way that took the least energy from them, with your content. Were the two types of likes: the likes that make you a fan of a page, or the like that indicates that you just liked a certain piece of content, such as a blog post or something like that. But there is another value to that, which is in the closed loop that, in this case, Facebook created, and now LinkedIn is following their footsteps with their own set of tools, and Google as well with their +1. But for a second, let's look at Facebook, where they basically created an environment where when someone likes something, he makes it noticeable to their social sphere, to their own social group, which might help a piece of content to become more viral. So from that point of view, from that perspective, we think that there is a value for the like. It's like an endorsement. It's a mini endorsement.
I will add just briefly to the conversation. About a few weeks ago, the consulting arm of IBM published a very interesting study on social media and the value of like. And Hanan and I will load a link to this onto our website no later than tomorrow, and you will find it on our blog. So if people are interested in that, kudos to IBM. We think this is a very insightful and relevant study, and we would encourage all of you to read it.
Well, fantastic. Well, at this point, we're at the top of the hour. Hanan and Ron, thank you so much. I think, at the very beginning, we found out that over 70% of the audience here today feel they're in the novice category in social media, and the steps that you outlined are all very actionable and great starts for somebody who, feels like they want to get started in this whole realm. So thank you. Just a great amount of content. And to all of you on the line, if you could just take a moment, there's a survey that's on your screen right now. If you could please take the time to fill that out. Let us know if this webinar met your needs and other topics that you'd be interested in. And we look forward to seeing you all at our next webinar. Thanks to all of you for joining us today. And Hanan and Ron, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.